Hi everyone, Cosmic Mango here, your favourite mango from outer space. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing 5 commanders that are fun to play and can be purchased and built on a budget. The commander format is all about having fun, and if we can find a way to do that with as little money as possible, that's pretty wonderful. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Number 1. Ezuri, Claw of Progress. A legendary Phyrexian warrior creature that costs 1 green, 1 blue, and 2 generic mana to cast. He has 3 power and 3 toughness and says the following. Whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you get an experience counter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a X+1/+1 counter on target creature you control, where X is the number of experience counters you have. An absolute blast of a commander to play. Build the deck with loads of low CMC evasive creatures and pump them up to massive heights with Ezuri. Most of the cards in Ezuri decks can be bought on a total budget. You'll want creatures with flying and unblockable, so you can easily hit people's life totals. You'll be able to deal crazy combat damage with this commander once you get the experience counters rolling. You can buy this commander for around $1. Number 2. Marchesa, the Black Rose. A legendary human wizard creature that costs 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red, and 1 generic mana to cast. She has 3 power and 3 toughness and says the following. Dethrone. Whenever this creature attacks, the player with the most life, or tied with the most life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Other creatures you control have Dethrone. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of your next end step. The Dethrone effect is so amazingly gross. When a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, you return it to the battlefield at the end of your turn. Nasty. She's one of the best reanimation commanders out there. Her color pie, included with her abilities, offers an extremely resilient game plan with some super fun and powerful synergies. What's so cool about Marchesa is that she can be played upon all levels, from lower powered to middle powered and even up to the max power level. She's super versatile. You can buy this commander for around 80 cents. Number 3. Joda, Archmage Eternal. A legendary human wizard that costs 1 white, 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 generic mana to cast. He has 4 power and 3 toughness and says the following. Flying. You may pay white, blue, black, red, green, rather than pay the mana cost of spells that you cast, so 1 of each color. Joda is one of those decks that requires you to have a very efficient mana flow throughout the deck. This is because he requires every color to activate his ability. The better lands you have, the better the Joda deck becomes. But don't worry too much. You can get by just fine with basic lands or budget lands, as long as you run some nice land tutor spells like Rampant Growth and some snazzy artifact mana generators. Joda is a deck full of fun. He allows you to cast enormous spells for only 5 total mana, as long as you pay 1 of each color to cast it, of course. You can do so many cool things with Joda. The 2 decks I ran with Joda when I had my Joda decks were the first deck, which had gigantic creatures in, and I'll cheat them into play using Joda's ability and then stomp over my opponents. That was pretty fun. And the second deck I built that ran huge instant sorcery spells that seeks wins with devastating damage or one-sided board wipe. Joda is an excellent commander and can be built numerous ways. I think this is what makes him so exciting. For example, I had a friend who built a Planeswalker Joda deck, and it was actually really good. Give Joda a go. Honestly, he's a blast to play. And you can buy this commander for around 40 cents. Number 4. Krenko, Mob Boss. A legendary goblin warrior that costs 2 red and 2 generic mana to cast. He has 3 power and 3 toughness and says the following. Tap. Create X/1/1 red goblin creature tokens where X is the number of goblins you control. Krenko is the king of goblins and is very possibly the best goblin commander in the format. Full stop. The amount of goblins he can create on a turn is absurd, and he can quickly get out of hand. Every time you tap him, you create goblin tokens equal to the amount you control, effectively doubling your goblins each turn that you do this. You want to be able to give Krenko safe. You want to keep him safe from your opponents with hexproof or indestructible, and you also want to give him haste as fast as possible. So something like Lightning Greaves or Swiftfoot Boots are a must in any of these Krenko decks that you play, in my opinion anyway. If you like decks that can get out of hand fast, spam the board with loads of tokens and play around enter the battlefield effects to burn your opponent's life totals, then Krango is the goblin for you. You can buy this commander for around $2.50. Number 5, the final card on this list, Syr Konrad the Grim. A legendary human knight creature that costs 2 black and 3 generic mana to cast. He has 5 power and 4 toughness and says the following: whenever another creature dies or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves your graveyard, Syr Konrad the Grim deals 1 damage to each opponent. For 1 generic and 1 black mana, each player mills a card. Syr Konrad is an excellent choice if you're looking for a budget mono black commander who can pack quite a punch. Syr Konrad rewards us whenever a creature dies, so whether that's by combat damage, target removal, board wipes, or whatever else you can think of, we will get to deal 1 damage to each opponent. This can stack up quite fast over time. He makes an excellent aristocrat leader and thrives when doing loads of little pings of damage multiple times over the game to slowly start draining your opponent's life totals down. You can buy this commander for around $1.80. Okie dokie everyone, that is the end of my list. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would you kindly drop a like and subscribe to the channel? We're getting very close now to 500 subscribers, and breaking that milestone would truly be awesome. I would love to know if you have any fun and budget friendly commander recommendations. If you do, please share them in the comment section below. I love reading your comments, and I answer back to as many of the comments that I can. Thanks so much for watching everyone, and as always, take care and goodbye.